Hello, check it out here. This will be a video tutorial showing how I render SketchUp images with D&D 5 render. I hope you like it and that this video helps you improve. Well, we'll start using our house modeled in SketchUp. I will leave a link for anyone who wants to download this file to use along with this tutorial. Basically what we do here is insert our model into a landmass with some volume to give more realism to our rendering. If you guys want me to do a tutorial showing you how to model in SketchUp, comment below and let me know. Now we open the D5 render plugin in SketchUp. Wait for it to load and start making the first adjustments by inserting HDRI lights or using the lights from the program itself. We adjust the camera angle and its positioning. It's important to use the grid to locate the thirds and have a harmonious composition. After configuring the positions of the camera, HDRI and the sun, let's now start applying the scene materials. As we apply the materials, we configure the exposure of the scene and balance it with the reflection of the materials. For perfect adjustment of the texture mesh, we configure the X and Y axes. Here we will round the corners of the model. We adjust it to 2 or 3. We will apply the volumetric grass material, which is very practical and quick. Now we continue studying different materials to be applied in our scene. We can study various materials until we find the best solution for our architecture. We continue adjusting the saturation and brightness of our textures until we find a good composition. The glasses are already pre-configured in Sketchup, but it is a good idea to adjust them. I usually use emissive textures in spotlights and later add a light. Okay, now let's start placing our landscaping. So let's go back to SketchUp to make some divisions on our land. Once we divide our land, it will be easier to apply scatter areas with vegetation. First, we apply a brush with low vegetation, and then we configure the scatter more precisely. Here, our scene begins to take shape and we can begin to humanize and detail. To fill the scene, we added a background to help. always saving the scene. Now we start placing the lights. We will use spotlights, group them and configure them. With the spotlights positioned, we can configure their strength and temperature. For the interiors of the house, we use rect lights, which will provide a more diffuse and distributed light. Now we start choosing and positioning the landscaping. This is a very intuitive task. Use references such as photos and projects that can be found on the internet. A good option for outdoor areas is the Sica Revoluta. And other bushes and shrubs, as you can see, D5 offers several models, and we can also add new ones. We continue composing the scene and always taking care that the foliage does not conflict with our main model. This will always bring more realism to our scene. It is the small details that bring realism to the eyes. Always make sure that the vegetation does not follow a pattern. Always rotate. Change the scale or mirror to achieve more realism. Keep adding landscaping elements until you feel necessary, but remember, don't overdo it. I always try to maintain the V shape that takes our eye to the focal point of the house. After adding more elements, pay attention to the framing of the scene, adjust the camera, and remember the rule of thirds. It is always good to leave 1/3 of the image exposing the sky. To add some more details, we use the Path tool, which will facilitate the randomization and positioning of elements, bringing more realism. Always remember to use random sizes and positions for your elements, just as they occur in nature. In this case, I tried to add more plants, but I ended up coming to the conclusion that in addition to them blocking the view, there would still be too many elements in the scene. It's good to avoid exaggeration so as not to take away the main focus of the scene. Here we are placing some more elements to fill the sides of the scene. Now we go back to Sketchup to add some emissive lights inside the pool. Always remember to click the sync button so that the D5 updates the model. Adjusting the HDRI and scene lights again. Now we add some characters to our scene. We added external furniture. After a few more small positioning details, we can finally render our scene. We selected 2K resolution for the tests and also all channels, activated the render queue and rendered the image. After rendering in post-production in Photoshop with all channels, this is the result of our image rendered in D5 Render. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this tutorial with your colleagues. I hope it helped. Comment below what type of tutorial you want to see in the next video. Big hug. This is Studio Vroch.